The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where are you located. I can see that there are many participants from different countries. Thank you all for coming. My name is Michał. This is Michael in Polish. I'm Lang Lions sales and account manager. We are located in Warsaw, Poland, and we are IT designers. We create software for language schools. This is our main job. But except for that, we like to commit to the global language school society, let's say, and we like to prepare something additional for you. And webinars are one part of it. Also, we tend to present you some articles on our blog. So please go to our webpage if you're interested in some interesting content and see what we prepared for you. Today we're going to focus on Facebook. I will show you how to advertise on Facebook. This is of course a basic training, so those of you who are familiar with Facebook campaigns, who are doing it yourself, maybe you will find something interesting in our discussion and in general presentation. I will not only show you the types of advertisements, but I will show you how to set up quickly and simple campaign. I will show you our Lang Lions fan page to give you an examples, and I will tell you what to do to reach more people with your fan page, because this is your main goal, to change numbers, to let them rise, and from, for example, 200 likes get to 1000 likes. But remember, one like, one concrete like, strong like, is always better than 100 likes either bought or simply generated by your friends, because this is very often situation when not only language schools but in general companies, they are asking their friends to like the fan page, and they are not focusing on the right customer target. Okay, so let's begin. I prepared you some presentation. We'll switch from the presentation to actually to Facebook page, which I would like to show you. Also, I will show you a nice tool that we use at Lang for analyzing the results of our fan page. If in the meantime you have some questions, if you'd like me to talk more about something, so just let me know by asking a question or by writing on the chat. I prepared also some polls for you, and I will ask you some questions in the meantime. First, let's begin with the presentation. I hope that everything's visible, clear, and you can hear me correctly. If there's any problem in the quality, if you have some problems in seeing what I'm seeing and I'm showing, so just let me know as well. Okay, so first of all, does it really make sense to advertise on Facebook? I'm speaking often with my customers about Facebook, about other social media, and some of them, they're very skeptical. They say, okay, Michael, you see, I have a Facebook profile. I'm adding some photos there, but this is private stuff. I like to get in touch with my colleagues, with my friends, with my family. I like to share interesting moments from my life, but I don't believe that it will change something in the way I run my school, I run my business. So the thing they say, that they don't believe that Facebook can boost up sales and boost revenue. Um, of course, I don't agree. I don't agree with them, because I know some interesting examples. Also, including my customers or companies, that they search customers on Facebook, they use personalized campaigns, and they succeed. But the thing is that we have to remember that Facebook is a really global phenomenon. Um, So it's not like you have your profile and you are adding their things, and those things are reaching only people that clicked. This is what 90% of Facebook users and company managers, they believe that, okay, I can set up a fan page, but what for? So the answer is very simple. This is actually now the best way to reach your targeted customer. Many people say, how about television? I say expensive. I say people are muting the ads, are switching the channel, and again, expensive. Newspapers, maybe for older generations, that's a good idea still. But as you all know, newspapers are, well, are beginning to also switch to electronic versions. So not the best idea. So when you ask yourself what you are doing in your daily job and what you are doing also at home, the answer is simple. You are using your computer. You are using your smartphone on the way to work, to university, to high school. So you are in constant contact with technology. So you are in constant contact with social media. Numbers say it all. So you can see this is one of a lot of examples on the internet about Facebook usage. Um, Now let's see, because this is also very important for you. Again, the word appears, targeting. So in Facebook campaigns and in general in marketing, in sales approach, you need to know who your customers is and how old is he. This is the first thing. So probably, I'm just guessing because I'm working with language schools, your customers are from teenagers till people that are around 40 years old as oldest. This is the main type of customer. Maybe this seems to be a broad image, a vast image that, for example, 13 years old and 40 years old, this is a completely different group. But when we see the results of the polls, we can see that those groups from 13 to 34 are the main users of the platform. Males dominating, for example, in the group 18-24. This difference seems to be in a majority of the age groups, as you can see. So probably in your case, this is the core target, 18-24. In my country, for example, this is, according to the studies, this is the main type of customer for language schools. Of course, younger people are also learning, but they have lessons at school. So some of them, they don't decide. But people from this period, 18-24, are interested most in language courses because they need it for their jobs, for their university studies, for their research programs, for going for Erasmus or other exchange program. So you need to, of course, you know all this. I'm just repeating, and I'm just emphasizing the fact that you have to remember who your customer is, and you need to you don't want to forget about analysis first. The second thing that convinces me and convinces many people, I'm sure that Mark Zuckerberg is the most convinced guy here. So it's the number of active users, 864 million, not thousand, not hundreds, million users every day. 63 users log in every day. Probably most of you as well. And every day there's 4.75 billion posts on Facebook. So again, skeptical people, they would say, so if there's a lot of users and a lot of posts, a lot of content, so my posts, they will disappear. Because if I post something and my fans are liking, for example, every day a page, and they are observing it, so my message, my advertisement, my interesting content will disappear in their newsfeed. I understand those worries. I'm well aware that it seems to look like this. But the thing about Facebook campaigns, and in a second I will show you how targeting and how the settings in the campaign are so important, is that you need to narrow your audience. So you don't want to display ads for example 70 years old golf fans that like to play golf with their friends, for example, on Sundays. This is not your target. But people sometimes forget about this, and they set campaigns that reach all of the people that are using Facebook. And this is a mistake. This is first common mistake. It seems so obvious. It seems for you, I'm sure that for some of you, you say, well, but that's pretty obvious what you're saying. But yes, for you probably this is obvious because you are a businessman, you are working with customers, you are well aware of what's happening. But majority of the people in general, they don't know a thing about targeting and retargeting. So I would like to ask you first a question as our first poll. So please answer first question if you can. I'm just curious who has a Facebook account in general. Right. So 100% of you have a Facebook profile. So this gives you already an answer when you are asking yourself, should I start working with Facebook on marketing campaigns? So the answer is yes. Because if 100% of my audience, and this is a small part of the whole society, has a Facebook account, so that means that probably, let's say 80% of your target customers, they also have a Facebook profile. And especially if you are located in United States or Europe, except Russia because they have different system, your customers, they also have a Facebook profile and other social media. But today we are talking about Facebook. So as you can see, this is pretty obvious. And now very quickly also a second poll that I would like to ask you a question, because well, this is actually more important than the previous one. Let's see now. Who uses Facebook for advertising right now? Okay, thank you very much. So from what I can see, there are more people who are using Facebook for advertising. This is 60%, and 40% those are people who are not using. So still, all of you have a Facebook profile, but still there are some people among you who are not using Facebook for advertising and looking for customers in on the market. Okay, thanks for that. Thanks for cooperating with me. Let's move. Let's move along. So why does it make sense? I already told you about numbers, about the users, but the thing is that the best thing about Facebook is reaching your desired target group. There's no better way to narrow your communication and send it to the people that you would like to really to inform about your offer. And partly this is quite scary because internet knows almost all about us. we are happy to give away information on Facebook. So when you start a profile, you set your age, you set your interests, hometown, place of birth, uh, date of birth, because you want people to wish you happy birthday, um, and you leave all kinds of information like this uh, during your first contact with Facebook. So imagine now how much information you are leaving later when you start using it on a daily basis. Giving likes, searching for information, searching for fan pages, adding friends, observing people. You can observe famous people that share content on Facebook. So Facebook learns all about us, and well, you all know this, that was the objective of Mark Zuckerberg, that he wanted to give us some social tools to get to know each better, to get to know each one better, but also for his purposes, for business purposes, he wanted to learn about people as much as he could, and then sell it to you. This is on part quite scary. It scares me sometimes, so I don't share too much information about myself on my private Facebook profile, and well, the suggestion is that you don't as well, because it's quite scary, as I say. But this works for your advantage, because normally majority of the people, they don't think about this. They don't think about their activities on Facebook and on any other social media platform, so they leave a lot of information. So just focus on this. Another thing that I think that speaks positively about Facebook is that the campaigns are not expensive, and you can try. You don't have to waste $250 for start to reach 5 people, because some of my customers, they think that Facebook advertising is expensive. If you want to reach people, so you need to spend a lot. Well, you can spend a lot, and the thing is to find the best solution, not to spend more than usual, and reach as many people as you wish. Of course, the conversion is the most important thing, as I said. So don't think only about likes. Think about the quality of them. Facebook is popular, so probably your competitors, your rivals on the market, they are using it. They are using it for the same purposes, so why shouldn't you? People say, okay, everybody uses Facebook, so it will be difficult for me to stand out of the crowd. I say, but if you don't start using Facebook for advertising, for creating content, for sharing posts with your students and potential customers, so you're gonna lose anyway. So simply, if anybody does that on Facebook, so you should as well. When in Rome, do as Romans do. And as I said, people spend a lot of time on Facebook. On my daily commute to work, I see people using Facebook all the time on their phones. You are observing for sure the same. So simple as that. Okay. Of course, there are other ways of advertising. I don't want to say that this is the only proper way to find your customers. I couldn't say that, because in my company, we do a lot of different things. We send emails, as for example, we send to you. We send some campaigns on Google AdWords, so we are localizing our potential customers. We are using CEO. We are involving people in some events. This is mainly, of course, for Poland, for our home market. We take part in conferences, in meetings. We organize meetings, etc. So I don't say that there's Facebook, that's the only way to advertise. Okay, so let's focus on campaigns now. Campaigns are created as you can see on the infographic. So there's a main campaign that we have to call, that we have to think about the objective, think about what we want to achieve at the end, and then we can create sets of ads. So we don't have to, people think that, okay, campaign is one ad. So each time I have to go, I have to log in, I have to create a campaign, I have to prepare it. No, you don't have to. You can plan everything for even a few months if you want. Big companies, I have friends who are working for social media agencies in Poland, and they prepare campaigns on social media for big companies, for example, uh, with 1 year announcements. So, for example, a company wants to introduce new product. They already have it, but people, they still don't know about it. So even if they want to start next year, they start preparing for a campaign. They're planning everything, and they set um, those ad sets, as you can see here, blue on the infographic. They set this for the whole year in advance. So of course you are not multinational companies, corporations here, but anyway, if you don't want to waste time, each time log in and change and add a new campaign, so think about setting multiple sets, and to each set you can apply a correct advertisement. As you probably know, there are ways to test your advertisement. This is called A/B trial, or ABC trial, depending on the program. This is very popular now in CRM systems, in programs like MailChimp to send out mailings. Before you send a full-scale campaign, you can see how things are going with each ad. So also for more advanced users, maybe next time we can talk about how to choose the best ad and how big companies are doing this. So which, for example, which picture is giving the best result, which text for advertisement gives best results, things like that. You have to think about your goals. This is very simple. This is obvious, but think that maybe you don't want more likes. Maybe you want some commitment. Maybe you would want some more comments from your clients, from your potential clients. Maybe you want more redirections to your website, because not every page on Facebook has to be completely oriented on sales. Mainly it is not. Mainly when a person is really interested and gets on the page on Facebook, then should click on some link or on a button and get redirected to your website when he can find more information. It depends, of course, on you. In my opinion, if you want to know my opinion, I think that currently this is the best way to mix your website with Facebook. And don't forget about exchanging this information. So put information about your website on your fan page, and vice versa. Put information on your website about your fan page. You will find different kinds of people, different kinds of customers. So to suit everybody, you need to be flexible in this case. Of course, some of you would like to share some events, so get more attention from more broad public, more audience. But the main goal, obviously, is more closed sales. So you want people not to give up easily. You want to make them return to your website and finally make the buy. What are the formats? What are types of advertisement on Facebook? So first is traffic and leads for your likes and website. So you can create a situation when you have more likes and more leads for your for example, mailing purposes, because this is all possible. I will show you. You can engage people in seeing your website. This is probably the best solution for you now. There's a way to also convince people by campaigns to install software. Maybe this is not your case, or maybe I'm mistaken. You have some apps for learning or for contacting your school. I've seen very different kinds of apps that language schools have, and of course you can create a campaign for visitors for your store, of course, or store on your website, so where people they can add to cart language courses, and or for example book an event or book an excursion. I know that you are coming from very different schools. Some of you have accommodation facilities. Some of you are private schools for locals. Some of you are oriented on them immigrants, for example. So very different customers, but with common goals. Okay, so sales and leads for your products or service. This is the first type. There are different names for it. Of course, I wouldn't have time to show you everything. Just very quickly, for example, you have this is something new. This is from 2015. Dynamic product ads. They are changing based on customers' activities. So they are detecting. Facebook is detecting the activities of the customer and is changing the same advertisement until the moment when, for example, the advertisement gets somebody's interest. So it's interactive. It's very simple artificial intelligence, but it's in general it's quite effective. So when you will be planning your next moves, think about this dynamic product ads, and also lead ads. This is another interesting way to attract some customers. This is for lead generation, for scraping. So you can in the example you can see you can set campaigns that do not convince people to buy your product, to install some software, to visit your website, but to subscribe. So people who will subscribe to your newsletter on Facebook, for example, you will get their information, and you will have easier job in the future targeting them again, this time with different kind of ads. For example, encouraging them to buy. Later, I will, after our presentation, I will show you an interesting blog of a guy that, he dedicates his life to Facebook marketing, and he ran some interesting experiment with engaging people in subscriptions, in clicking the ads. I think that the results are quite surprising, and you will find it interesting. But anyway, as this is not my publication and not my research, so I will give this to you after we finish. I finish talking about things. And this is, for example, this dynamic product. So it changes. It can display different images. It can show you different content depending on the actions and depending on sites and places that the customer visited. Another way, this is the most traditional one. Those were the first types of ads created for Facebook. On the left side of the picture you see, this is on the right column that you see on Facebook, or you saw, because some of you have different layouts, so sometimes you can't see the ads. In my opinion, this is not effective. People are not focusing their attention on the right column. They tend to rather focus their attention on the news feed. So this type of advertisement, which is very simple, as you can see, there's written sponsored. You probably are seeing this kind of advertisement every day. This is more effective because when you are scrolling and you are seeing what your friends were doing today, so also you can find something interesting there. I can tell you that a few times personally I got caught in their net and I clicked. Many times I clicked because, for example, I was searching for some products, maybe on Facebook, maybe in different places. It's all connected, as you know. So I was searching for headphones. For example, this is the recent situation, and I was proposed fan pages, not only from people that would like to sell me headphones, but for example sites connected with music. for example, Spotify, which I don't know why I haven't got liked before, but I was proposed Spotify. This is only an example. So imagine somebody's looking for a language course. Somebody's interested in English, in German, in Russian, in Polish, in Spanish, never mind the language. So now he would see something like this about your school on their newsfeed. This is a good idea always. Another type, promoting a post, promoting a page, promoting a video, photo. So people would see an information about a page that they should like because of a reason. Of course, the most difficult part is to convince them why they should like the page, and obviously I can give you later some advices how to not fail in this case. And mobile apps, this is for more IT companies like for example mine, but why not try it yourself if you have any applications for mobile phones or for desktop. Give it a try. This is also a nice option. And now let me switch quickly to our fun page. I will be using Lang Lion's fun page to show you. I hope that everything's visible. Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen a profile, because maybe not all of you've seen a fan page from this side, because not all of you are using Facebook for advertising. So anyway, I'm forced to show you. You have different places, different tabs that can tell you some interesting information about your profile. Let's go, for example, for a second to Insights, because as I told you, the first thing to do when starting to plan an advertising is finding your target, is analyzing who's your target. So here we can, after clicking Insights, we can see the overview, so how many views of our website, of our Facebook page there were, how many people we reached, and what's the inclination, if it's down or if it's up. In our case, it's down. We made some interesting campaigns recently. Now they are finished. They were finished, I guess, 11th. So now it's declining, and this is pretty normal. So don't be scared if something's declining. It's not going to be always up. You need to prepare for that. That's pretty obvious. And you will see your recent posts. You will see pages that you should compare with. This is our competitor in Poland. So we can compare ourselves with them. We observe them. We see what they are doing. So as you can see, we have more likes than them, and we have more engagement from our customers. So we tend to win, and you can do the same. So this is also my suggestion when you're using a page on Facebook to advertise. Add here your main competitors in your cities, in your countries, and see how they are doing. Of course, you won't see what they are doing in case of advertising. This is impossible. You can try. You can search on Facebook like you would search as a standard customer. But anyway, you won't see. Also some suggestions. This is pretty simple. Okay, reach. Here you will see details about how many people and what were the days of the best reach. What kind of information can give you? The days. Which day is the best? For example, if you are posting every day, and after some time you realize that, for example, in case of every Thursday, in my opinion, Thursdays are the best for organizing events, for organizing some involvement on the page, sending out emails. So, but of course, you will see for yourself how it works for your web page. Sometimes it depends on the campaign. Sometimes it depends on your activities. But in general, if you are posting similar content, of course, This is not. I don't suggest that you post only similar content on your website, but if you do, so you can see what day is the best. This is the first thing to do. Check what day is the best for posting, because then you can plan your campaign and, for example, set specific days or specific time periods. Reactions, so how many likes there were, so how many shares, how many comments about your posts, so you can learn something. Okay, for example, also we can see the page views, so from when till when, how many people visited us, and from where they were redirected. This is another very important thing. Facebook, of course, is not a tool to monitor traffic on your website, because it can only tell who is going to your website from Facebook, for example, and who is going from your website to Facebook. So you wouldn't see all of the sources. So that's why Google Analytics is better in this situation, in my opinion. But um, as you agree, probably this depends on the school, depends on the situation, depends on your main target. But anyway, I recommend that you see this part insights before you plan any campaign, because here you will see some interesting facts. People. This is also important to see. You can see how many people from which age group was visiting your site, that like your site, and you can easily decide later to which group of people send a campaign. In our case, 36% of 25 to 34 years old, and those are women, so our company is more liked by women. So probably our campaigns should be more oriented on women that are from 25 till 34 years old. And obviously this second result, those are also people, mainly owners of language academies. Judging by their age, this is more likely a company. Those are people from companies that are already more developed, so they are more on the market. The age suggests this, and I'm just giving you some information like this to convince you that this analysis is very easy and convenient. I'm right now sitting at my flat, and I'm doing this with a cup of coffee after my work, because I finished my work earlier, so I can in a second plan a campaign, which I will do in a second. Okay, let's go back for a second to the page. If you want to start advertising, so you will have few ways to do it. You can click here to promote, and you have quick access to your ads, so you can decide what you want to do. But this time I would like to go to the manager to show you more advanced view. First of all, as we agreed before on the infographic about Facebook advertising, you have to decide what you want to achieve, what you want to choose. So first of all, think about your goal. Of course, the goal is to get more leads, to get more sales and more money, but you need to know how you want to do it. So for example, why not, in your case, sending people to the website? I think that's a pretty good idea. And we have to obviously set an email, website address. Let's say it will be our website, maglion.com. Yeah, we have to give a second to Facebook. It loads the details. Okay, we can name the campaign. So let's leave it like this. It doesn't matter for now. But if you will run some more campaigns, just make them, call them, that you later don't make a mistake. Of course, settings, countries, and money. And now the fun begins. because I told you about targeting, and now I want to really target my customers. Here on the right side, I have a gauge that can show me what's my audience. In this situation, it's quite broad. So this is those are in general all of the people. I don't want this, and you don't want this, because not everybody should receive your invitation to see the website, because it doesn't make any sense. As you can see, there's Poland here. So this is all of the country. So this is too much. Potential reach 12 million people. So this is probably, those are the probably the users of Facebook on Polish territory that are logging more than once a week. From what I remember, this is counted like this. So remember about checking what's the potential reach. Of course, do not believe exactly that you will reach this amount of people, because you know that this is impossible. Okay, so also including on the location, we can decide if we want to set everyone in this location on people who live or recently were or traveling in this location. So if you are an American school in California and you are looking for customers from different countries that would like to come um, to USA and learn English, so set this. And for example, set here, instead of Poland, that's excluded, for example, Los Angeles, California. Plus 25 miles, we can narrow the radius, so we'll see only downtown, for example, and some close to downtown districts. Our gauge changed, so now we are seeing it's in the middle. We are interested in California. We are interested in people traveling in this location. Okay, maybe, for example, who live, because you want to target your people, locals. So 3.5 million. But the age group is too vast. It's 1865. You probably don't want to do this. So let's switch to, for example, 13.35, because those are this is a majority. As you can see, 2,200,000. Still, it's a big number. It's less than before, but still, it's a big reach. Gender. Of course, for language schools, it doesn't matter so much, because we all want to learn languages. That doesn't matter what gender we have. But anyway, if, for example, your school would like to organize, this is quite popular recently, a course only for women. This is quite popular in Poland. Imagine a course for business English only for female managers. Why not? This is a good idea. If a school would like to focus on women more, why not? We can mark also women. So we have less people. This is more or less the half of Los Angeles population. And for example, people that speak English, or even better, they speak Spanish. 260,000 people that have on their profiles marked that they speak Spanish. Those are probably part immigrants, people who were born in United States but in Latino families, or different, newest generations of people who lived here there for a long time. But anyway, if somebody speaks Spanish, so maybe he would like to improve his Spanish, or maybe he would like to improve his English, because he is not so comfortable with English like this. We can, of course, include and exclude. Now, including some detailed targeting. This is very important. You can choose many things, from demographics to interests, behaviors, and different categories. Sorry for a second. Okay. For example, somebody is looking for language school. Maybe language school is not the best interest, but why not? For example, English culture. Okay, we have some suggestions. Foreign language. And we have similar. Learn English. Cambridge English. BBC Learning English. For example, Duolingo. I don't know if you know this. This is a nice thing to refresh your vocabulary. So I'm including now people who like those topics, who visited Duolingo, who like them, for example. But still I have a nice amount of people. I also can exclude people. For example, I can exclude people that are American natives. Okay, I have a question from Monica. Of course, I can send you a video that's recorded. No problem. Thanks for coming, and I hope to see you next time. All right. So also very important is to exclude people. If you want to narrow the criteria, for example, in demographics, you can, for example, exclude people who are in relationship. This is only an example. I don't say that you should do it, but for example, you don't want people that are engaged. Some of the companies, they don't like people who are engaged, or they like especially people who are engaged. Those are, for example, companies that organize weddings. This you all, of course, know. My point is, you need to find here criteria that will narrow as best as it can the people who should receive your message, because we don't speak about quantity, we speak about quality. And people who are searching for BBC Learning English, Duolingo, foreign language, learn English, they're more likely to click on your ad. That's simple as that. 2,200 people. Maybe you think it's a small number. It's Los Angeles. It's a big city. It's a big country. Who cares? You don't want 1,000 people clicking on your website and saying, I don't want this. You want even 10 people who will click and say, okay, I'm interested. And you will see this in your results. Next thing we have to do is to set the budget. What I suggest is to set a lifetime budget. Why? Because you can simply create some periods of advertisement. For language schools, it's actually better. From my experience, I know that you tend to advertise in specific periods. For example, at the end of vacation, when people start to look for courses, they start their college programs, etc. In Europe, the same. The end of September, for example. I have another question. Okay, thanks, Monica. So setting up a period of time, this is in this case 1 month, starting 10 a.m., for example. I can see how much I would spend. In my case, it's 700 PLN. In my opinion, it's not much. It's not much money for reaching very specific group of people that I would like to invite on my website. And now remember, this is a different kind of advice. You don't have to invite people to your general website. You can do it, this is recommendable, but you can invite people to landing pages that will, for example, say, hey, I see that you clicked our ad on Facebook. Thank you for that. I can see that you are interested in language course. Fill the form below and we'll get in touch with you. Some people, they will fill it, because if they click from Facebook about language course and they are redirected to a page, which can be very effective in this situation, they will know why they did this, and they will get the clear message that you want to help them, you want to show them your offer, and you want to serve them as best as you can. customer service at its best. So in my opinion, you can target like this. But this was a digression, Frank. Sorry for that. Okay. Remember that all those settings you can save, and you can call ad set name. So we can create type of advertisement, which destination is in this case, for example, people from Los Angeles, mostly Hispanic. Let's continue. Okay, just wait a second. For example, in this situation, we can connect. As you can see, those are the images that were taken. I know this because I can recognize this is the image taken from our website, automatically uploaded because I connected Facebook with the website. And also there's a text here. Modular structure of long line is not only convenient for director. Of course, this is automatic as well. This is taken from the website. This is a preview, right? So I can change the text here, and I have 90 signs for this. For example, do you want to improve your business? My recommendation, do not, if you want to make it effective, don't put more than the half of the space, or slightly more than half of the space that you have here. Because the message should be clear, because people, if it's sponsored, they will scroll, 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 and the eye wouldn't focus on all the text. It will focus only on the beginning of the sentence, on the core of your slogan, of the thing that you would like to say about your product. So remember not to add too much text here, because it wouldn't make any sense. Anyway, it's like this. This is my suggestion. Next thing, of course, images. This is imported automatically. We can see all of our library images that we have uploaded. For example, in this situation, okay, I can drag and drop. This is obvious, but sometimes when I connect directly with a website, I can see the images that are connected in the topic, what they represent, with the ad type. So we are also sometimes suggested by Facebook what picture we should use. Of course, in your case, probably it's going to be some logo, but if it's going to be a stock photo, think about using one that offered by Facebook. Okay, so here, generally, we can set those ads. Multiple images in one ad, or single image in one ad. This is, of course, an example. We can okay, we have some stock images. Okay, and see what I'm doing. Language school. Okay, so some stock images. Perfect. Hablas español. This is perfect. For example, why not? If you would like to search people who already speak Spanish and would like to learn more, why not using a stock picture like this? So this gives you some advantage. You save some time, as you can see, so you don't have to search on the site, then upload pictures to your fan page here. You can just do it automatically from here. Also recommend to see how your advertisement will look like on the mobile phone, because people are using mobiles and tablets a lot. So think about this responsiveness of your ad. So it should be like this. It's okay. Also, you can decide whether you would like to include your advertisements for redirection to your website on the right column. My opinion, don't do this because it's not effective. For us it wasn't effective, and for my customers it wasn't effective either. So focus more on the newsfeed. This is of course my suggestion. Remember, text, headline, and do not overuse the amount of text. Before placing an order, when you prepare what you would like to present, you can review the order. You can see the details about target and the summary. You can place and you can edit. I don't want to place this order, obviously, so I don't want to create an ad for my company like this, so I will just abort now. But I will get back for a second to campaign objectives and show you an interesting thing. But let's go back, for example, to the presentation. What about targeting? What's next? So before you send out a campaign, think about your ideal customer. Think about your average one, so the usual one that comes to your office and signs the contract and has some pluses, with an ideal. Don't think about ideal that a handsome person or something like this, but ideal means the best process, the best customer process. So for example, customer reaches you, the process is fast, he learns quickly about the offer, he decides very quickly, and think of such a person and why you would like to have a customer like this. And also think about the place where they live, what they are doing, what they like, about their already known languages, behaviors, and also some obvious things like the sex, age, etc. So analyze the characteristics. Now just very quickly, I listed an interesting tool for you, fan page karma. This is called like this, and it looks like this. fanpagekarma.com. This is one of the there's a lot of tools like this for monitoring your profiles, your pages. But anyway, I recommend that because we are using this and it's nice. It's simply easy to use. It's the summary of what you are doing on Facebook and other social media, so you can have one profile and manage all of the social media that you have, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. So it's a good idea if you have more than one way to communicate. I have a question from Nathaniel. Of course, happy that you could come, and I will send you the recording, no problem. Thanks for coming. Okay, so just to very quickly show you, it's very similar to Insights on Facebook page, but anyway, it gives you some more information, and in my opinion, it's easier to read their charts than the Facebook ones, and the biggest advantage is that you can connect many fan pages in one profile on FanPage Karma, and majority of the basic functions are free, so you don't have to pay. If you would like to try out some tools or some managers for campaigning, no problem. They have some features that are extra, but in my opinion, for starting starting your journey with social media, it's a good thing that you set up a profile here and you check what's going on. So after some time, when you set up your profile, you will see here some results. Of course, those of you who are already having some pages on Facebook, you already know, and you can see your top pictures, your texts, best hashtags, best words used, top links, etc. Frequency of posts per day. So this is the summary of everything that's going on your page. So just as a suggestion, as a complementary thing, check this out. Okay, let's go further. Okay. So what about the results? Of course, I can't guarantee that you will succeed because it's too much. But I can tell you that if you narrow your communication with students, like I showed you, so I think that you have very good chance to succeed. But giving you an example of case study. In this case, it's a training. So let's call this this is Power Editor. This is part of Facebook as well. This is more advanced, so I will just skip it. But this is Power Editor is also for managing your campaigns, managing your results, and analyzing things. But anyway, John Loomer. Remember this name and surname because this is a nice guy. This is a guy who's doing some interesting things on Facebook. He's a marketer, and he prepares some tutorials. I have a nice link for you as well. At the end, he has interesting publications on his website. I suggest visiting him, and also you can hire him if you are located in the United States. You would like to boost up your campaigns as well. But anyway, John invited people to his training from Power Editor. This was obviously an experiment. So here he targeted his ads to the fans. This ad was the purpose of it was to sign up for a training. So there was this type of ad I told you about where you can gather leads, right? In situation when he chose some random retargeting for his customers, his fans on Facebook. Also, the result was very good because he spent, as I can see, less than $50 on the campaign, and he had a pretty good result, a pretty good feedback. Now, what happens when he targeted for this training non-fans? And on purpose, he did this without focusing on the specific target. He has done something random, very random, and see the result. He spent a lot of money. Well, not a lot of money, but he spent some money, and the conversion is none. So remember, targeting and retargeting is very important. So what really works? Custom audience. I will show you this in a second. You don't have to only look for people without knowing them on Facebook, because you can already know them, you can have their names, but most importantly, you need to know their emails. If you have their emails, so let me go back to Ad Manager for a second, set some thing, for example. Okay, just a second. Let's go. So here in create custom audience, this is below the first field, create new custom audience. Here you can upload a file, copy it from different lists, and import from MailChimp. So if you have some leads to your, well, potential customers, old customers, people who haven't decided but were negotiating with you, let's say, so you can upload a file with their emails, and Facebook will find them and send them the ad. So they are more likely to recognize your brand because they already know you from for some reason, because of the old contact, because I don't know, they are your friends, personal friends, and you would like to ask them to like your page. Different way than clicking please like my page to your friends on Facebook, depending on your style, what you want. And if you are using MailChimp, so you are sending out mailing campaigns, so why do not do both? So attack those people using Facebook as well. So you can have your lead list uploaded to Facebook, and Facebook will locate them. Of course, remember that sometimes people are using different emails on Facebook, and different emails that they leave you in the registration forms, for example. So you have to decide. Okay, right. Application activity. This is for schools that have some activities and other ads. So mailing campaigns, click rates, etc. You have to analyze it all, and then, as I told you, you can, in custom audience, you can upload them, and this will be more likely to reach them. Now, retargeting. You probably know the word. This is quite easy, plain and simple. Somebody is interested in your product, in your language course, and he searches. He finally reaches your website, he reads something, he clicks there and there, but finally leaves your website without purchasing, without, for example, in your case, maybe not purchasing for everybody, because I know how language school works. Maybe, for example, signing up, leaving details, writing placement test, never mind what it is. So Facebook can track where they were on your website, what they were doing there, and it can detect, for example, when they left website without a call to action that you set, that was your objective, your goal, and then it sends them personalized campaigns. You can set this automatically, so if somebody enters your site, doesn't leave you any details, so Facebook Pixel, which I will show you in a second, will keep record of all this and display the ad on Facebook for this person. This happened to me again a few days ago. I was searching for some car parts, and finally, after some time, I was about to purchase some brake discs, and I didn't do it because I realized that it was too expensive on the site. So I left, and then I realized that on Facebook there appeared this company, this online shop with car parts, proposing me some brake discs. So this is possible when you don't make a decision, and the reason for that is different. Of course, I resigned because it's too expensive, so maybe that campaign wouldn't convince me so much. But in case that, for example, I'm searching for a page, I'm not decided yet. Simply, okay, not now, I'm tired, I just want to log off from my computer and rest. And then another day I sit again and I start to search, and for example, I enter Facebook and I see, for example, one of the first ads I encounter about the language school I was searching for. So that could be effective, and think about this. And now, how to set Facebook Pixel. Again, you have to go to your fan page, go to custom audience, go to website traffic, and you can set pixels. Of course, I have some pixel created. It's a default one for anyone who visits your website. So if anybody gets to your website, will see then the ad, if you set, of course, the campaign for them to be displayed. But anyway, you can decide, for example, that you would like to display to all of the people that visited your site in the last 7 days. Pixel code is like this. It's a code that you copy and you paste it on your website. You can do it on your own. This is not difficult, especially if your website isn't edited in WordPress, so you can do it on your own. But if you don't want to, so you can very conveniently here send the code to your developer or to webmaster. So simply he will receive this, and you can add personal message that please add it to our website. We want to track people. And then, as the name says, this is a pixel, so it's not visible. It's transparent, but it detects the traffic on your website and will give you a lot of insight. So, very important, just do it. If you haven't done this yet, try the pixel. Try to monitor the traffic on your website. Try to see what sections of your website people are reaching and why. For example, after I think that there's some advanced settings, I don't recall exactly, but for example, you can check how much time they spend on your website. This is a very valuable information in my opinion. So just try it. I'm sure that you won't be disappointed. Especially that this pixel function is not, you don't pay for it additionally. You pay for the campaign in general for some settings, right? But for pixel there's no price here. This is not another setting. So remember, retargeting with Facebook pixel, good idea. Okay, let's go back for a second. Now, what instead of ads? This is a little bit of humor here. If you don't want to, plan the campaigns, you can involve people in, liking your brand hero. You can create a fan page of a brand hero, like for example Pingo's here. I think that you know this cartoon with this penguin made of mold. I don't remember exactly, but I watched this when I was a kid, I guess, or maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaken, but anyway, this is a creature from a cartoon that's pretty popular among children. This is, for example, a dragon. I know it looks funny, it looks scruffy, but anyway, it's a quite popular person here in Poland because this belongs to a very big school that uses this creature to promote. There's a fan page of it. Also, there's this little guy. Also, his a trademark, let's say, even he's a mascot of one of the Polish schools. So this is another way. So you can create a fan page or a profile that people would invite to their friends. And this happens, for example, in case of this guy, this dragon. I don't know what happens with Pingos because I don't have contact with them, but maybe there's Pingu on Facebook as a person, so children can add him as a friend, and then Pingu can post some things for children. This is mainly good thing for younger crowd. I don't encourage you to create some brand heroes for business English customers from multinational companies because they probably would think that you're crazy. But anyway, if you have some young crowd at your school, play with the pets like this. Try to move children's imagination. Why not? That's about it. That's my presentation about the basics of Facebook advertisement. I know it's not everything. I know that we could speak for hours. We could go through each type of campaign one by one and spend 1 hour talking about everything. But this is not the purpose. I wanted you to see the basics for those, especially for those of you who have not no knowledge about Facebook, and maybe some of you are scared of Facebook. For at the end, I would like to show you a few links, few pages that I think that are worth seeing when planning some campaigns. First, it's Ad Espresso. It's adespresso.com, and they have some interesting publications. They have some ebooks that you can download. So the do's and don'ts of Facebook advertising. This is a good thing. This is quite a Bible for people who would like to start advertising. You can learn a lot of things how to be successful. So I've done my part. I showed you the basics. I showed you how to start up the campaign. I showed you the types. And now if you want to learn more, why not visiting them? I will just add that I'm not cooperating with them. I'm not giving you their address because they asked me to. I just think that they are great and I was inspired by them many times. So this is the first thing I suggest. Download this ebook. Why not? And the second thing, this is John Loomer. This is the guy about, he makes some experiments. For example, 20% rule. That's a nice thing that you should read. And in his free stuff, he has some ebooks. And for example, lead ads ebook, it's a nice thing because you can learn how to gather leads using Facebook. So just think about visiting John's website and seeing what he's doing. Also, I recommend you to visit our website because, of course, not only you will see here what we do, what we offer for language schools, which I encourage, of course, you to do, to let us know what you think about this, but I also invite you on our blog. So this is not, this is also one of our areas that we like to develop. So not only webinars, but also articles on the blog. So as you can see, 5 common mistakes when managing a Facebook fan page. You can read my article. It's easy. It's nice. Just check it out. And I encourage you to check out our ebook that you can download here. It's about, in general, online advertising for language schools. So if you want to get some tips, learn how it's done in different countries, please visit our blog.langlion.com and see what's there. Download our ebooks. If you have any questions for me, so now's the time. I can see that someone's writing. Thanks, Rashid, for compliment. Anyway, if you would like to ask me a question about Facebook, about Langlion, about what I'm doing more, who I am, etc., so ask me a question, fire away. And of course, at the end, I have a simple poll for you, another one. This is a question. How, if you would like me to prepare a webinar about Google AdWords. So something more, also and also about analytics, because it's a nice combination. If you'd like to, so I will be happy to give it to you in 2 weeks, I guess. I will let you know by email. I have your emails. Now we are going with my colleague to Lisbon to Equals conference. Maybe you know this organization. Equals is a association for language schools, and there they are organizing a conference. Maybe some of you are going there. If it's the case that you will be there, look for our stand. We will be with Langlion there, so we can talk. And anyway, I encourage you also to see what Equals is doing. Maybe you would like to join. It's a nice organization that also well, connects people from different countries. So in general, that's all I prepared for you. I hope that you liked my presentation, that you liked things that I prepared for you, and I hope to see you next time when I will be talking about Google AdWords and Google Analytics. So you will complement your knowledge with another things. I can see that Gary here written that he will be in Lisbon. Gary, I will look for you. Feel free to ask me any question by email. Anyway, I will try to find you. There will be a lot of people there, but I will try, do my best. And in general, thank you very much for coming. 92% people want to see me again, hear me again. So that's a good thing. That I think that you like this. And well, 8% only don't know yet. But when you decide, feel free to click the link. Anyway, you will receive an invitation for a webinar. So again, thank you very much for coming. I wish you pleasant day, pleasant afternoon or evening or night, depending on where you are. It's 8 p.m. here, so I think I'm just gonna go out for a run and relax myself a bit. So thanks again and see you soon next time.